welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a condition I currently suffer, which is PCOS, which is a term of polycystic ovarian syndrome. I will do a few different bits. I have my prompts as always. I will give but yeah, let's get on with it. So what is PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome? So it is a hormonal imbalance which affects people's ovaries. There can be ranges of symptoms, but it mainly means they produce more testosterone throughout the female body. The symptoms can include excessive hair and the body, infertility, irregular periods, acne, weight gain. Sometimes they can lead to other conditions, which is like insulin resistance, which is like pre-diabetes, because of obviously if you're eating a lot more because of this, because of the hormones around the body are haywire. So that means you eat more and you crave more, let's say sugar or carbs, and obviously that makes you gain weight, and that means your body can't produce insulin right, and there's whole different other things that go around, which is annoying for so many people, because if you want to like have a baby, or you get really bad acne, or sometimes you get bad acne to the point, I've seen people get really bad acne to the point where they actually get like boils or blisters or anything around the face, and it's really bad. And I will insert pictures in a minute of them sort of things, so you can see what people actually go through. But so this is my journey I'm going to go through now, and also I'm going to say how it affected me in the past, and also I'm also going to talk about what I've learned from it, and how, if you're out there suffering with these symptoms or PCOS or anything like that, something that's helped me cope, and hopefully that'll help you as well if you are suffering. So I went through puberty, as I said in my previous video, when I was 7 years old. So I was quite young, I was quite early. I was the only person in my class. I didn't understand why, but it happens. And at first there was no symptoms there of PCOS. There was nothing. There was no hair, there was no weight gain, there was no irregular periods, which is another symptom of PCOS. I didn't get my symptoms until I was about 11 years old. So I started having really bad cramps when I was starting high school, and when it sort of, I noticed something wasn't quite right, because I was getting a little bit of hair on my chin, and I was getting a little bit of hair on my chest, and I was getting really bad stomach pains. It was all doubled over in pain, really, and no one would know what was going on. I was admitted to hospital because I had to get further tests, because there was something else that I had to be admitted for, but I'll go that into another video anyway. But when I was there, I had blood tests, I had scans, and when I was having my ultrasound, because obviously I was quite young, my mum had to come with me, she did notice there was something not right with that particular scan, because she saw these like little black things, I would say. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like little black things on the scan. And I was like, they were like, no, there's nothing wrong, nothing wrong. I was like, no, there is something wrong, because obviously I was in a lot of pain. I was getting a bit of hair. And that obviously, that downs your mood a bit, because you're thinking, what's going on? But when they discharged me, at first they said it was all in my head, and they knew that my dad had mental health issues anyway, like he's got schizophrenia, paranoia, and they thought, oh, I live with him and obviously I've seen him like imagining stuff, that it's coming off from him. And I had to get referred to CAMS, and for no reason at all really, because when I got my discharge papers, I think a few weeks later, they said that I had some cysts on my ovaries, like quite a few actually. And I was telling my mum, like, what do they mean by cysts on my ovaries then? Does that mean there is something wrong with me, obviously? And she said, yeah, that means you have got something wrong. But obviously at the time I didn't know what it was. And so at that time I thought, okay, it's just normal cysts on your ovaries. It was tiny cysts, like that's another symptom for PCOS. You get tiny little fluid-filled sacs when you haven't produced an egg or anything that time of the month. And at that point I hadn't had my period for about 4 or 5 months, and that is a bit worrying, because you're thinking, well, why haven't I not got my period? I've had my period for quite a few years before, and then obviously it's suddenly stopped, and then you get the odd little bleed here and there. But then I moved down to West Sussex, because I used to live up in London when I was about 12 years old, so a year later. And then I went to the doctors down here about it all, and they referred me to a gynaecologist, because I explained my symptoms to them, and I showed them my symptoms obviously, because it was quite obvious by that point that there was something wrong. And they did bloods, they did another ultrasound and stuff like that, and they said, yes, you have got really, really high testosterone in your body, like really high. I mean, I was way high, and that obviously explained why I have the hair I have hair all over my body, pretty much. I mean, obviously going a bit over dramatic here probably, but I feel like I have got it quite bad, I would say, because I have got hair on my chin, I've got dark hair on my chest, I have got dark hair on my stomach, got dark hair on my arms, my back, I have got irregular periods. I mean, I don't actually have a period now because I have contraception. But when I found out and stuff, they tried all sorts of treatments. They tried me on the pill, so they tried me on Dianet first, which was to help with PCOS, because obviously it reduces the hair. And I was going okay for a few months and stuff, and I was completely happy with it. But then they said if you bleed in between your periods, then you can't have it, because obviously that's not right. So I had to stop that. I had to try another pill, which was called Yasmin, and I was completely fine on that, to be honest. I was completely fine. I was doing well on it, but then I went to the nurse to have a checkup. Because my BMI was too high, then I had to stop that particular pill, which was quite annoying, because they said to me, there's going to be no other pill you can have, because obviously you need to have a low BMI. And I was like, well, how are you meant to get a low BMI when obviously you've got PCOS, which affects your weight? So they said, well, you're just going to have to learn to deal with it. A few years later, I have tried creams in the past as well. So a few years later, I thought to myself, okay, I've got something to deal with. So my mum was in hospital, and she had a endocrinologist come round, I think that's what they're called. And she saw my beard, she saw everything. And she was like, you've got PCOS, haven't you? I was like, yeah, why? It's like, you come to my clinic and we'll sort you out. I was like, right, okay, oh, you're meant to be here to see my mum, not me. And so I went to her, and she said, yes, the only way to deal with all this is obviously to get weight loss, to have weight loss. And I was like, right, how am I going to do that when obviously I've tried pretty much everything. I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried Slimming World sort of stuff. I haven't actually went to Slimming World, I actually did that. I've been to the gym, exercise. I've had a team out called Feeling Good. So yeah, and so I haven't had it because I'll go into that in a minute, but she said the next thing obviously to do was to get weight loss surgery. And I was like, right, okay, so she put me through for that. So I decided, in the end, I decided against that actually, because I got up to the point of where I did the milk diet, and I was really, really ill. I nearly fainted, I was completely pale, I felt sick, and I was like, nah, if it's that case of like how I'm feeling then, is that going to be how I'm going to be feeling after surgery, to the point of like I'm going to be collapsing, I'm not going to feel that much energy, I'm going to have that sort of struggle, because it was near Christmas as well. It was going to have my operation last year. But I'll go into another detail of also why I stopped that surgery as well, because I was in hospital anyway for another reason. But I was like, no, I don't. I'd rather do it my own way. And that was it. So now I'm gonna go on to how it has affected me. Not affecting me now. It does affect me a little bit, but how it has affected me. So, as I said, I was quite early with my periods. I was quite early with my puberty. So I was quite I was bullied at school, which I won't go into detail because obviously I mentioned that in my previous video. And it made me have low self-esteem because obviously when you go out, you want to look your best. You don't want people judging you. You don't want... So I have acne. I haven't put any makeup, so you probably can see acne on my face. That's because I'm in the middle of a breakout at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why. But yeah. So because of my low self-esteem as well, has made me not want to go out as much, because obviously if there's one day that I can't be bothered to, you know, shave or put makeup on or anything like that, you're not wanting to go out because you're like thinking, oh, they're gonna see how I look, and because my hair, when it actually does grow, is quite thick, and if I have had it to the point where it's quite long and it's quite covered my face sort of thing, so that's not great. And like I said, I have to, in the past I've had to put makeup on, or I've had to make sure I shaved my chest or my face, or if I wanted to wear skirts I had to properly shave or get my mum to help because it's quite hard. And also there has been times where I have undereaten, so I have sometimes stopped eating because I thought that was the way to lose weight, or I have skipped meals. I mean, sometimes I still do it, sadly, but I don't eat breakfast or anything, or I would just eat one big meal and then that's it from the day. I don't eat anything else, and I thought that was the way to do it. And also I am going to be doing another video with my, I don't know how you would say it, she is like a sister to me, Grace, about fertility and how we've both experienced that, and also she's going to explain different things and go on from there. But I will, my journey. So I have learnt to actually love the body that I'm in, obviously keep being fit and stuff like that, and I have started to walk a lot more, and I have slowly, I'm losing weight. I think I've lost 1.5 stone so far, so that's great. Also, don't listen to anyone else's what they're saying, because they're the ones who have the problem with, they're the ones who have the problem, obviously not me, not you, or anything like that. And going on from that, I feel like I will say how you can get the help and stuff like that. So I found, I think there's a Facebook, we'll link it, a Facebook group that people with PCOS like goes through. They give you advice on anything, they give you like their stories, they put out their stories and stuff, and it is a good support group. Or finding your own support group is also a good thing, because then you can think you're not alone in what you are experiencing. Yes, okay, you may not have it as bad, but you've still got PCOS. Yes, it might be because you might just have infertility and that's the reason why you got PCOS. You might have just the hair and that's why you got PCOS. It's so many different things. I mean, another thing that's helped me obviously because it's helped my mental health anyway. But if you are from England or United Kingdom, I believe there are loads of it's called Mind. I don't know if it's within West Sussex because that's where I live. I live in West Sussex. But if you are from England, I believe there are mental health support groups as well, or there is Mind. I'll link it all in. Don't worry, I'm going to link all any support groups, any sort of facts down in my description. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll leave, as I said, I'll leave links to anything that I have said. Also, in the top right hand corner will be the list of all my social medias, including down in my description will be the links of my social medias. If you have found this video helpful or anything, then please give it a like, and also if you're new here, please also subscribe. Thank you for watching.